Hi, my name is Adiri Zanskinir. Welcome to the Healthcare Stage, the go-to podcast for innovators dedicated to enhancing health and wellness globally. In each episode, we dive into insightful conversations with those at the forefront of healthcare innovation.
This episode delves into the story of Accellta, an Israeli company founded 12 years ago with a mission to revolutionize the cultivation and manufacturing of stem cells. Stem cells are cells that can differentiate into various specialized cell types and have the unique capability of undergoing unlimited cell divisions. For that reason, stem cells carry vast potential for various applications in the biotech and FoodTech industries. Accellta's unique proprietary 3D suspension culture platform addresses the critical scalability bottleneck that has long hindered progress in this field. It ensures large-scale production and affordable end product encompassing chemically defined media and proprietary stable cell lines derived from humans, aquatic animals, and farm animals. Since 2018, the company has demonstrated stable profitability resulting from various services and products they provide and trusted partnership with global industry leaders like Stem Cell Technologies, Ajinomoto, and Hitachi Chemicals. Driven by innovation, Accellta has secured over 120 patents across 11 patent family, solidifying its position as an important player in the stem cell space. The company is now seeking $5 million to propel scaling up capabilities for the evolving food tech industry. If you're an investor looking for a new opportunity in the food tech space, this podcast is for you. It is my absolute pleasure to host Dr. Michal Amit, a pioneer in the field of stem cell research and the CEO of Accellta. Michal graduated from the Faculty of Medicine at the Technion, where she did her PhD studies exploring new ways to optimize methods to culture stem cells. For over 2 decades, Dr. Amit has been at the forefront of stem cell research, focusing her effort on laying the groundwork for appropriate pluripotent stem cell culture. Her expertise spans a wide array of areas, including the derivation of primary cell lines from various sources, culture medium development, cells mass production, and stem cell-directed differentiation. Dr. Amit patents laid the foundation for the establishment of Accellta, a pioneering stem cell platform company, where she served as Chief Technology Officer up until 2017, at which stage she became the CEO. Hi, Michal. Welcome to the Healthcare Stage.
Hi, Adi. Thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure. Tell us something about yourself.
Okay. You talked mainly about my career. I will just add to that I start my wonderful journey with stem cells, visiting the laboratory of Professor Jamie Thompson at the University of Wisconsin. I spent there several months learning all you need to know about stem cells culture, stem cell lines derivation. It was a very exciting experience. During that time, Professor Thompson derived the first human embryonic stem cells. So I believe that I learned everything I need to know from the best. It was a very exciting experience for me as an Israeli, since this university is located at Madison, Wisconsin. I spent several months during winter time. It was heavily snowing, an experience that as an Israeli I haven't experienced before. So it was a very positive experience, and during which I might say that I fell in love with these unique cells. I understood their huge potential, and for ever since I dedicated first my science and then my work for the utilization of these cells. You mentioned that we established Accellta based on IP that I have developed at the Faculty of Medicine here in the Technion. And yes, Accellta grow. Today it's a profitable company with a very strong women power. We are today 21 employees. Most of them are women, and that's include the main key position of the company, such as myself, my CFO, and others.
Thank you for sharing. So today we are going to talk mostly about your activity in the food tech space, which started about 4 years ago. But before we dive into this activity, let's talk about the company, its unique know-how, and the solution it provides in the past 12 years.
The main essence of Accellta is our ability to culture stem cells in a carrier-free suspension culture. This unique culture enables us to grow these cells in a very high densities in a cost-effective manner without harming the unique characteristic of these cells. And that's why we can use our platform for many applications, and we can help other companies improving and optimize their own process of manufacturing cells, either for clinical applications, this is what we start with human cells, or for other purposes, as you mentioned, like the food arena, where you culture the same stem cells, but from livestock animals.
Please explain our audience the different steps yielding large-scale quantities of stem cells.
You have to start from the beginning. You have to have to derive a line of stem cells. This line should be fully characterized to see that it fulfills all the requirements for this specific cell line. You have to develop a process of manufacturing, mainly meaning taking your small-scale laboratory methods and turn it into a manufacturing line. You have, of course, to create a master cell bank or of well-characterized and validated cells, from which each time you can thaw a vial and start the process that you have developed. These processes can be used in order to manufacture in the suitable clean room and so on, a batch of a treatment that can be based either on the cells or on what the cells secrete. And you can do it again and again in a very reproducible manner.
Let's talk about stem cells utilization for therapeutic purposes, which was the company's main revenue generator in the past 12 years. What are the main applications in which the stem cells you are developing are being utilized?
The main applications that our stem cells can be utilized is, first of all, for treating regenerative disease that are caused by loss of functionality of cells in our body or tissue in our body, thus causing severe symptoms. In order to treat not only the disease symptom, but the cause of the disease, you can use cells that will be a substitute for the harmed cells. And since our stem cells are unique in the way that they are from a very early developmental stage, and therefore they can actually be induced to differentiate to any cell exist in the adult body. We are talking about more than 200 cells. It's if you like to think about it simply, there are cells that haven't decided yet what they want to do when they grow up, and if you invest in their culture, you can push them to your desired cell. So in case of a disease, you can create for the patient cells that can replace the harmed cells. I can give you an example so it might be easier to understand. One of our customers is a very unique company called Red Sea, established by Dr. Ari Gargir. And this company aims to manufacture from stem cells red blood cells in order to treat cases of trauma, of a huge loss of blood. The idea is to create cells that are from super donors, so can be good for almost all the population if we consider blood types. And you can create as many blood doses as you like in the lab, high quality, with the same functionality of red blood cells and so on. So similarly to this company, you can create any cell type you like. Another example, in cases of burns, very severe burns, you can create skin sheets. These skin sheets can be made synthetically or can be made while containing cells of the patient or cells that come from stem cells. So you can use and create any cell type you like from this cell with high quantity, high quality, no limit of the amount. And using our methods, it can also be done in a cost-effective manner. So this is one utilization. And as I said, we help other companies mainly to improve their manufacturing process in a way that will make it cost-effective.
What sets Accellta apart from other companies selling cell lines?
There are main two things that set us apart from other companies. First of all, our cell lines are naturally immortal. That means that they will continue to proliferate in culture forever. We don't need to do any genetical modifications. No need for genetic engineering. They are naturally immortal. The huge advantage of this is that you don't need to go back to the animal again and again and take a biopsy and start a new cell line several times a year. Once you do the process, it's forever. Similarly with the regulation. If we have one cell line that can use forever for our manufacturing process, that means that we need to approve it only once. Once a regulatory process approve the cell line and use the same cell line again and again and again to manufacture tons of product. This, taking together all these points, it saves time and it saves money. And it makes the whole process simpler. Another advantage is our system. Okay, as we mentioned, our core technology is culturing the cells in a carrier-free suspension, directly in the medium. No need in scaffold. These scaffold that are needed in order to give other cells a kind of support, mimicking the natural structure of the culture, the tissue, is not needed here. And therefore, we don't have a scaffold that can change the mouthfeel, the taste, that add protein which are not part of meat, not naturally. It saves the need to upload and download the cells onto the scaffold. This uploading and downloading process cause cell loss, massive cell loss, can go up to 30% of the cell. In an industry that our main fight is to reduce the product price. Losing cell is a catastrophe. Our system is highly efficient because the cells are just flowing using all the space of the bioreactor. And this allows us to reach very high densities of, in some cases, 40 million, and in other culture method, even 100 million cells per ml. This is as high as the industry can reach. It's highly efficient. And taking all these advantages together, we are significantly reducing the time, the cost, and regulatory issues, and getting a cost-effective product.
Thank you for explaining this. You've mentioned earlier that you're offering several services on top of the fact that you're manufacturing stem cells. Please say a few words about this offering.
Okay. Beside optimizing a process, we can also focus on optimizing the culture media, make it GMP compliant. We can help company to manufacture the cells. We have a clean room, and we can create batches either of the treatment, the drug, or whatever this company is using, or master cell banks. We also have scientists. For example, we are working with several media manufacturers. We gave them licensing to our culture media. So it's worldwide, it's available for everybody, and this is another good stream of revenues for our company.
So say a word about your customers.
Most of them, if we are talking about the human cells, most of them come from either the regenerative medicine arena or companies that manufacture reagent and culture media for the industry and the academic institutes. We also can create unlimited sorts of any type of cell, which can be used for drug development, drug testing, toxicology, and so on. So this is also something that we can do and we can offer.
In the rest of our conversation, we will dive into your activity in the FoodTech space, which started about 4 years ago. You decided to enter the space because you realized there is a challenge you were able to solve. Tell us how everything started.
Okay. We realize, nobody could miss the growing field of novel food, and especially all that surrounded what we called cellular food or cellular agriculture. We realized that this industry actually aimed to culture and to grow endless numbers of cells, high quality cells. And it was easy to understand that the main bottleneck of this industry is basically a method, a process, how to culture trillions of cells in a cost-effective manner, in a method that is suitable for the industry. And we thought to ourselves, hey, we have all the answers. We have the most perfect system that this industry required. We already have developed everything for our human cells. All we have to do now is to derive the suitable cell lines, for example, cow cell lines, other livestock animal cell lines, fishes and other animals, and enjoy our years of hard work and use our technology for this industry.
So after you took this strategic decision, what type of products did you decide to manufacture?
First of all, meat. For that, you need muscle cells, blood cells, fat cells. But also we thought about our ability to culture fat. We can manufacture fat in suspension in an industrial way, in bioreactor, from the stem cells to the huge fat cells and even to free lipid droplets. So we thought to use it also for the dairy industry.
So 2 years ago, you established a daughter company named Milliways, which focuses on meat products.
Yeah.
Say a few words about Milliways.
We combined together with a very good strategic partner, Feed Better. We established this daughter company, Milliways, which aimed to manufacture ground meat from bovine and also fish stick from different species of fishes, embryonic stem cells. The company has very talented CEO, its own facility, and it's working hard on the first prototype.
When will it reach the market?
We hope in between 2 to 3 years from now. to have our first products.
Wonderful. So Michal, set aside the strategic collaboration you generated with FeedBetter. Say a word about the potential clients for shrimp cells, red blood cells, dairy fat cells, and dairy fat droplets.
We treat these or regard these cell type actually as food additives, okay? We are not aiming to manufacture complete, let's say, yogurt or ice cream with our lipid droplet, but we aim to sell it as a raw material to large food manufacturer. The fat, mainly the fat droplets, because we don't want cells in our ice cream. The fat droplets manufactured by cells will be used for many dairy products, such as ice cream, cream, hard cheese, and more. Similarly, with our crustacean cells, these cells also can be added to protein manufactured by plant and be sold to other companies that aim to create either shrimps, lobster, or other seafoods, basically. Blood we are considered only for meat, but the other are going to be additive cells to larger food manufacturer.
So largely speaking, the dairy droplets, fat droplets are relevant for the regular dairy industry, whereas the other cells you are currently developing are relevant for the evolving alternative meat industry.
Yes, exactly. You're absolutely right.
What is the regulatory route of these products, and what is the current regulatory status of the products you are developing?
As far as I know, there are 2 cellular-based products that had already been approved by local regulatory authority. The first one in Singapore and later on also here in Israel. We are aiming to use our vast experience working with authorities like the FDA and the European Regulatory Authority, and apply this experience also for our new products. Indeed, to this aim, we rent the services of a top-notch regulatory consultant, and we start working because we want to be ready, okay? We want that in case everything will be okay, and in 2-3 years we will be in the market as planned. We don't want regulatory approval to delay our distribution of product. So we already on it in order to be ready on time.
So you assume 2-3 years?
Yeah, with the fat droplet for a dairy industry, yes, 2-3 years, no less.
Who are your potential strategic partners? Do you assume that moving forward, Accellta would be purchased by another company?
We are applying for a large food company, mainly those who are focused in dairy products. There are several global players, and we aim to turn to each one of them, either as a potential client or maybe, as you said, an institute that will acquire Accellta.
Let's talk about pricing. What are the ballpark prices of stem cells, dairy fat, and medium sold today?
Most of the numbers come from the human industry. Stem cell line available for industrial purposes and commercial utilization can cost between $50,000 to $100,000 per vial. Of course, since these are stem cells, this vial will last forever, but there are a lot of expensive surrounding the cell line licensing and creating a master cell bank that can cost approximately $100,000 per bank. Regarding the fat for dairy, the natural fat come from the cow costs $5 per kilogram. And for us, this is the goal. We want to manufacture lipid droplets at the same price of $5 per kilogram. This is the aim, and we believe we can reach it.
What about the mediums?
Culture medium for human cells can go up to $500 per liter. And again, as we mentioned before, we worked in the past to reduce this cost. And today we have a medium which is by tenfold cheaper. And we are working on reducing the price more. The aim is no more than $5 per liter.
Okay.
Another thing about the media is recycling. We are working on recycling the media, which further reduce the price.
So Michal, of all the food tech products you're developing, which one will generate the largest revenue? How much do you think you will sell in 5 years from today? And who would be your main customers?
The fat for dairy product is going to be the largest one, the one that will grow faster than other and manufacture, the highest revenues. In 5 years from now, our aim is to sell this product in about $80 million per year. And the numbers will grow as our manufacturing capabilities will grow. And the main customer is large food manufacturer that are focusing on dairy products, a global one.
So Accellta now wishes to raise money, right? In order to
Yes.
advance the large-scale production of these fat droplets. How much money do you wish to raise, and what will you do with this money?
We are aiming to raise $5 million. A large portion of it will be used in order to build a pilot plant. There is a room in our own facility for such plant. This will enable us to increase our manufacturing capabilities from no more than 1-2 kilo per process to several and even approximately 20-25 kilogram per run. And this will enable us to complete the line of manufacturing.
Michal, what are the main risks you're facing, assuming you raise the capital you need?
There are three main risks. First of all, the price. As we discussed earlier, our competition is natural fat from milk, which costs $5 per kilogram, and we need to be as close as possible to this price. So being able to reduce the price of manufacturing to $5 per kilogram, it's one risk. Another risk, it's the regulation. We need to go through all steps of regulation successfully. And since it's a relatively new industry, some of the raw material of mainly of growth factors and others that are used in our culture medium are not yet manufactured in sufficient amount. There are sources for food grade materials, but they are not necessarily suitable for culturing in dozens or thousands of liters. So this should be solved.
And how do you plan to mitigate these risks?
Regarding the regulatory, we already are working with excellent regulatory consulting. And from the other side, we have our own experience with deriving clinical grade cells. Regarding the food grade materials, we are already in contact with companies and suppliers of food grade materials, assuring together that they will be able to supply today grams, but in future maybe hundreds of grams and more of the needed material. We're working with them, and we are working with more than one to assure success. Regarding the price, we are working on new IP suitable for livestock animal that answer to this medium, which have reduced concentrations of the most expensive materials. Some of these materials, if possible, we remove for our culture media, and we are working to even improve it more. And as I mentioned earlier, recycling the media. This will, again, reduce the price.
We are nearing the end of our meeting, and I would like to ask you, how do you want to summarize your mission?
Our mission is to manufacture food additives like the fat for dairy, which will be available to everybody. Not a premium product, but a product that everybody can buy eventually at the supermarket. We want our product to have the same texture, mouthfeel, taste, smell of the original products, with, of course, a very high and good nutrition value.
Thanks. Thanks for sharing this important data with me. I hope this podcast will help you guys in your important journey. And I hope that Accellta would raise the needed capital and would become a key player in the evolving food tech space. For audience interested in learning more about products and services provided by Accellta, I recommend visiting their website. This podcast is available on my LinkedIn page and YouTube channel called The Healthcare Stage, and also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you are working at companies developing novel solutions aimed at improving the lives of others, or you are a researcher in a hospital or academia conducting groundbreaking research with potential clinical application, do get in touch with me at adi@thehealthcarestage.com. Michal, I hope the company will achieve all its milestones. Thank you so much for coming over. It was an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Adi, for this opportunity.